This is Chris McNabb, who's facing charges for murder.
You claim you're innocent, so you tell me what sentence the man or woman that you claim did this should receive.
If you ever find out who did them, they deserve to be under the jail.
Okay. On the crime of malice murder, I sentence you to life in confinement without parole.
In 2017, Chris, his girlfriend, and 2-week-old Kalia were asleep. However, when they woke up in the morning, baby Kalia had disappeared.
My 2-week-old is not in her sleeper. Her passy is on the floor. She's not in her sleeper. She's not here. I've looked everywhere. And I told my baby's dad to go check on Kalia. And then he's talking about she's not here. She's not in here.
You looked through everything, like under the bed,
yes,
in the
ma'am.
bathroom?
Yes, ma'am. And I have clothes in totes, but I've looked all in them and she's not here.
Soon enough, the police launched a massive search with a passionate Chris.
But I want my kid back, man. That's my child, man. I want my kid.
Finally, baby Kalia was discovered in a gym bag that belonged to Chris. Following the discovery, Chris fled town, but not for long.
County 911, was that just a emergency? That guy that his baby was found dead is in the Chevron on 36.
In court, Chris and his girlfriend couldn't bear to confront the abuse they had subjected the child to.
Can you tell me what's depicted in that photo?
Okay, all of these photos are just step by step showing how the body was received and these wrappings of how the body was received. Again, this shows that one of the sleeves was over the head and neck. The rest of it was just kind of wrapped around, and the baby was wearing this purple onesie that had writing on it as well as a diaper.
During the trial, Chris's psychologist revealed some disturbing details.
He was wearing a turtle suit, which is something that prisoners are wearing when they're on suicide risk. And he wasn't wearing clothing under that, and he had pulled up the turtle suit and taken out his penis and was masturbating.
And did he masturbate to completion in your presence?
He did.
However, Chris remembered things differently.
I did have on a turtle suit, and it velcros, and it wasn't on properly, and it didn't fit properly, and the velcros were not on good because they don't stick, because they've been used for so many years by so many different people, and I was not at all in front of her, period. The thing fell off when I stood up, and that was it. There was none of that, and I would have liked to have told her that, since she was the one making the accusation, since I'm pretty sure by the law states that I have a right to confront my witnesses who accuse me of doing wrong. So I felt like I wanted to say it in front of her, since she was the one up here slandering me.
That was the only thing you wanted to tell the court? I just wanted to know if you had anything you wanted to say to the court.
I mean, I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say, but I'm not going to be able to say half of it.
I don't know, because I don't know what you're going to say.
I'm innocent. I didn't do it. I just don't understand how you find somebody guilty of doing something to a 15-day-old baby, because there was no evidence whatsoever that proved anything about me putting my hands on my kids. I've never done it. I never would. I don't believe in it. I was beat as a child, and I don't agree with it at all. And I would never do it. I would never do this. That's all I got to say. I would never do it. I'm innocent.
But the judge disagreed.
Well, I can make a lot of comments on what you said. I can make a lot of comments on the trial, but I know that was just be arguing with you or talking with you. I'll ask you one simple question. You claim you're innocent, so you tell me what sentence the man or woman that you claim did this should receive.
If you ever find out who did them, they deserve to be under the jail.
Okay. On the crime of malice murder, I sentence you to life in confinement without parole. On concealing the death of another, I sentence you to 10 years in confinement, consecutive or after. Count one. Do you understand each of your sentences?
Yes, sir.
Chris's girlfriend, Courtney, also followed Chris's footsteps.
Oh, no, I didn't do this.
Well, you and I had a conversation back.
We did.
I explained to you exactly why you were being charged with the crime. It wasn't that you knew about the murder. It wasn't that you anticipated the murder. It wasn't that you planned the murder. Any of those things. It was simply that you created an environment that caused your children to be put second. Now, I'm sorry, but for you to go around chasing McNabb like most criminals, you have this version of what a good mama is that is so far from the norm that, you can go anywhere in this county, talk to anybody who's watching this and say, is it a good mama who doesn't even care about her 14-year-old baby? Put them with a cousin. I've known of instances where mamas won't even let in the first couple of weeks of a child's life. People around the child, for fear that the child's immune system hadn't been built up and they don't want germs brought into the child. They go to that extent. You went just the exact opposite direction, and there's just no excuse for that.
And Judge Ott didn't hesitate.
On count one, I'm going to sentence you with 30 years, with the first 15 years to be served in confinement in the state penitentiary, the remaining time on probation. On count three, I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in confinement and run at the same time as count one. Now, do you understand your two sentences? Let the record reflect she's nodding her head slightly yes.
The couple are still serving their sentences. Just when you thought you've seen it all, another convict surpasses Chris's wild display, like in the case of Ortiz Nieves.
You had put cigarettes out on this poor little child. There was evidence of that from the pictures.
Man, I ain't gonna let you, man. I ain't gonna let you sit here and say no crazy shit about me, man.
Who's facing charges of first-degree child abuse and felony murder in Michigan for the murder of 4-year-old Giovanni Mejias, the son of his girlfriend. In June 2017, Kent County deputies arrested Ortiz Nieves after Giovanni was found lifeless on the kitchen floor. An autopsy showed internal bleeding from an abdominal tear, indicating trauma caused by an adult, not a child.
Alleging you murdered one Giovanni Mejias. It is called felony murder.
In court, Ortiz Nieves denied any wrongdoing. However, prosecutors argued differently, backed by confirmation from the medical examiner that the injuries weren't accidental.
The degree and the location and the number of injuries was remarkable. In my opinion, this injury is inflicted with blunt force from an adult individual.
The defense had a different take, suggesting that maybe other kids caused the injuries. Surprisingly, the child's mother supported Ortiz Nieves.
Him, sock him, push him. He was just mean to him.
Did you ever witness Nelson physically discipline the kids?
Never.
Ortiz finally addressed the court.
I'm going to continue to say I would take a lie detector test to prove that I never abused any of Sonia's kids or never abused Giovanni and never intentionally meant to hurt Giovanni but to help him.
At the sentencing, after Ortiz Nieves was declared guilty, the victim's mother appeared to shift her position.
Yesterday was the hardest day, and instead of us celebrating, we took balloons to his grave site. And because what Nelson decided to do to my baby will never bring him back. I'll never see him grow up, fall in love, go to school.
Before pronouncing the judgment, Judge Mark Trusock had some strong words for Ortiz.
You can claim your innocence, but I sat over this trial and I carefully listened to all the testimony, and the jury verdict was clearly correct in this matter. There is no question whatsoever that you committed this murder and that you beat this little boy to death. This is one of the most disgusting trials that I ever had to sit through.
But Ortiz wasn't one to go away quietly.
Man, I ain't gonna let you, man. I ain't gonna let you sit here and say no crazy about me, man. No, man, because he's saying shit you don't even know, man.
Sir, anybody says anything back there, right?
Now he learns his sentence.
You are the lowest form of human life that I've been able to observe or see. You are a monster, and quite frankly, you are evil. What you did was sickening and disgusting. We're done. Take him to prison, please.
However, just a few months later, the child's mother was implicated in the crime.
My first charge is perjury. I lied under oath for a man who I thought loved and cared for me. My second is failure to protect my children and blaming a sibling on a sibling. Your Honor, signing my rights off was the hardest and most difficult decision I had to make. And I have to live with the fact that I failed my children. Your Honor, what you decide to give me is nothing compared to what I have been through. I wanted to apologize to my family.
For her role, she received 5 to 10 years in prison. Ortiz Nieves is a prime example of a convict acting crazy in court. However, could Austin Boone's actions be considered even a little crazier?
Your pants need to be up when you're in a courtroom. Sir, up!
They're up.
That's inappropriate. They need to be around your waist, not below your bottom.
Pull your pants up. You've been disrespectful.
Not below your bottom.
Austin is in a Jefferson District courtroom on charges of speeding and possession of drug paraphernalia.
How do you plead to the speeding 22 over and a possession of drug paraphernalia on January 23rd?
Despite being briefed by his attorney, Austin is unable to make meaningful headway. However, the judge was considerate.
She told me you said guilty or not guilty.
Well, if you plead guilty, then I can give you the plea agreement that you made.
Yeah, that whatever the agreement was.
Okay, the agreement was to plead guilty and get a $44 fine plus traffic school plus a $100 fine on the drug paraphernalia. You would pay that today and then go to traffic school so that you would not get the 6 points on your license. Is that what you understood? Okay.
And just as things were about to round off, another issue arises.
178.0.
Just how does it go?
But Austin wasn't ready to comply with the deputy's request, and the matter was escalated to the judge.
Why is it that I need to pull his pants up?
Your pants need to be up when you're in a courtroom. Okay? That's inappropriate. They need to be around your waist, not below your bottom.
Pull your pants up. You've been disrespectful.
Not below your bottom.
I mean, that's my bag. All y'all see is my basketball shorts. It's not even my boxers.
Do you understand that you're in a court?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you do what the judge says, and that is pull your pants up around your waist.
What do you want me to do?
Pull your pants up. If you have to tighten your belt, you're going to be an adult when you come to court. Do you understand?
Yes, but right now I'm trying to leave court.
Unmoved, the judge laid down the rules.
You're going to stay a lot longer than you'd like if you don't pull your pants up.
Ma'am, they hurt up. What do you want from me?
Have a seat.
Have a seat at your box.
Have a seat. Because I said so.
A few minutes later, Austin was called before the judge. Now, he is about to find out that the court is not the streets.
By removing your pants, it was extremely poor judgment. Okay, I'm holding you in contempt. I'm going to sentence you to 7 days to serve for direct contempt of court.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Why?
Because you don't know how to act.
They
like a
couldn't be
grown-up.
high enough for you, so I took them all.
Eventually, he served only 2 days in jail and was fined for his initial crime. However shocking Austin Boone's reaction to their sentence was, how does it compare to the actions of Jeremy DeWitt?
What the does it look like I'm doing, dumb? Get the over before you find out.
Stop pretending you're a police officer.
Who's in a Florida court for carrying a concealed weapon.
Jeremy DeWitt. Did I say that right? Yes, sir.
However, this wasn't Jeremy's first meeting with the law. He has been arrested several times for impersonating a police officer.
Not him again. It's Jeremy.
Eventually, he was arrested, but was later released on bond. However, a few weeks later, officers saw him with a firearm and stopped him.
Don't reach for that firearm. Walk away from your bike. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Go down to your knees. Do not reach for that firearm. You're being secure because you're openly carrying a firearm. What? You're openly carrying a firearm.
But he won't go down quietly.
What are you yanking my helmet off? I'm trying to identify you because I can't see you. You're trying to identify me? Bruh, leave my camera alone. What is this? It is a fire. No, I do not. You know it's a pepper ball. Stop it, man. All right, Jeremy, you're being arrested for carrying a concealed weapon.
Now at the police station, there's a twist to the story.
So this online identifies as a Glock, basically a Glock replica. Can you show me on here anywhere, I mean, I don't know why you'd have a light on a less lethal, but can you show me anywhere on here where it gives anybody the idea that this is not a firearm, that it's a less lethal?
I can't answer that. I don't make those. But you know they're less lethal.
No, I'm asking. If I saw this, I wouldn't know that.
That's where you're focused. But you can save that for somebody else.
Okay.
Although the charges were dropped, Jeremy still needs a judge to confirm.
All right, sir. Your Honor, I was on bond. They revoked my bond with a new charge, but that charge was dropped.
He has
That's what they do.
approximately 10 or 11 other cases that he's currently incarcerated.
Oh, you got a bunch of different cases that are keeping you. Right.
Jeremy's bond was later instated and he was set free. His case is still ongoing. Jeremy isn't alone in his courtroom actions. Let's not forget the notorious incident involving 18-year-old Peyton Gendron.
We never go in no neighborhoods and take people out. Don't do it!
Who's in court for multiple counts of murder. In May 2022, Peyton committed a devastating mass shooting at a Tops Friendly Market supermarket in a black neighborhood in New York, killing 10 black people and injuring 3 others. After he was arrested, investigators discovered that he had written a manifesto where he identified himself as an ethno-nationalist and a supporter of white supremacy.
It was straight up racially motivated hate crime from somebody outside of our community.
While the crimes committed by Peyton were abhorrent, his courtroom conduct will leave you speechless. He showed no remorse as victims spoke to him. For one particular victim, it was too much to bear. On May 19, 2022, Gendron pleaded not guilty, but in November 2022, he altered his plea, admitting guilt to all state charges.
There is no place for you or your ignorant, hateful, and evil ideologies. You will never see the light of day as a free man ever again. It is the judgment of this court for your conviction under the first count of the indictment, a domestic act of terrorism motivated by hate in the first degree, an A1 felony, that you be sentenced to life imprisonment without parole.
Eventually, Gendron was sentenced to 11 consecutive life terms with no chance of parole in February 2023. While Gendron's behavior was shocking, it's nothing compared to the utter